Adam Christ from MyMMAnews.com, being joined by Chris Daukaus. He is making his UFC return in 2021 against Aleksei Oleinik, and it goes down at UFC Fight Night, Blaydes versus Lewis, February 20th in Las Vegas at the UFC Apex. Being joined by Chris Daukaus now, and his son who loves Buzz Lightyear, obviously. What's going on, gentlemen? How are we?
How are you? How are you? Say hi. Hi. We're doing good. We're doing good.
Awesome, man. So coming into the new year, Happy New Year first and foremost. What did you guys do to ring in the new year? How was your holiday season, man?
It was good. Just hung out with family. Kind of relaxed a little bit. Just coming off the win in Fight Island, and then my brother fighting. So we were just kind of relaxing, taking back, and then getting ready for the new year and seeing what the UFC wants to do with us. So been excited.
Yeah. So, you getting into the UFC, like you took the short notice fight getting in, if I'm not mistaken, and now you're just thriving in the heavyweight division, 2-0 in the UFC, right? So and you're obviously now you're getting Aleksei Oleinik. Things couldn't be going better for you. I mean, it's going great. So how is this for you, man? Like, what's the feeling like being from the East Coast, tearing up, CFFC, doing some big things on the region, and now tearing it up in the UFC?
Yeah, it's kind of surreal, but it's kind of what I've been saying all along. I've been saying that I'm the number one guy outside of the UFC, and I'm a top fighter outside of the UFC. So it just came in to prove that I truly do belong in the UFC, and I'm going to make a statement in my next fight and cement my position in this division.
And obviously, your brother Kyle is in the mix too in the UFC. You guys kind of seemingly made your way up in the ranks together, him being a middleweight, you being heavyweight, and fighting on a lot of the same shows and growing up. So what's it like for your family seeing all of this coming to fruition for their boys, the Daukaus brothers, everything, man? Like, it has to be surreal.
Yeah, it's definitely super weird, but it's something that we've always knew was going to happen. Yeah. It was a goal from ours from when we first started. And we have the support system behind us that allowed us to do exactly what we needed to do to get here. And now that we're here, now that we're just we're going to thrive. And it's really surreal to see all the hard work that we've put in. It's actually paying off. So it's going to be better.
So you have everything going for you in the heavyweight division, big guy. And one thing that everybody has been making note of is how fast you are. You're quick, you're evasive, you're able to move in and out, your head movement. What is it about that other heavyweights don't seem to have, man? I mean, it seems to be you're coming in with like lightweight movement into the heavyweight division.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's just me from just training with lighter weight guys or just that mindset that, all the heavyweights they just want to stand there and bang. So it's kind of like a breath of fresh air for the division. People are excited to see heavyweights. People are excited to see, the quick hands, the super fast knockouts and all that. So, I'm super excited to keep putting on the shows and impressing people with my skills.
And obviously you have the power behind it. You can put people away. 2 knockouts in the UFC. So not only the speed, but the power behind it. It's proven to be just a true fierce and force in the heavyweight division that most people should be looking out for because I mean, you just keep improving with the bodies, and they just keep dropping. So it's a great thing to see. But bringing all this back to Martínez BJJ, they have to be just so thrilled with you guys. Will, Chavo, all of them guys.
Yeah. It's kind of they seen this. I don't know what, but we stuck by them. They stuck by us. It's really a family. Like, they're 2 brothers, we're 2 brothers. It's just really just a whole big family there. And I couldn't be, more happy to have all the support from everyone at the gym and then everyone who's, all the family and everything like that. So it truly is amazing.
So I'm curious with your full-time job, I should say Officer Daukaus, right? So
yes.
Has it ever, now that your MMA career is really starting to take off, has that thought come into play of putting the police work on the side maybe in the near future, or has that thought come into play?
Yeah. It's definitely been a thought in the Daukaus household. So I'm coming up on 10 years in July, and that's kind of like the big point At that point, I'll have like a little bit of a pension. I can, kind of take like a little bit like a break, like maybe like a year and a half off, and then head back to the police force if I actually choose to do so. So that's something that we're weighing all the options there, the pros and cons of everything. So we'll see how it goes. And then when it gets closer to July, we'll definitely make that decision, because as of now, I'm doing really well with, balancing, both careers. So we'll see when July comes around.
I'm just curious, before we get into the fight, have you had to be in the mix with some people potentially, reprimanding people, arresting them, citing them, and they're like, well, you're that UFC guy?
No, not yet. I'm actually really happy about that.
Yeah.
Just because I don't want that added pressure or that added like weird, like thing between us. So it'll be good. I know. So, yeah. So I'm happy to keep things separated for, the time being. But my coworkers give me crap all the time, so I'm fine with that.
So can you expand on that? What kind of crap is the police force giving Officer Daukuas while he's on the job?
It's just, the little banter that you go back and forth with your partner and all that. So, I just got verified on Instagram, and I'm trying to get it on Twitter. So then everything, it goes right back to that. Is that verified? They're giving me crap about everything. So everything I say, they're always asking me, is it verified? Is it real? Or all that. So little stuff like little pokes, little jack. Nothing wrong with that.
I know it comes with the territory, right? Like, you can't feel bad when they're poking fun at you being verified and your name getting out there.
Yeah, exactly.
But, if anything, it kind of makes them look cooler because they're, going side by side with the UFC rising star.
Exactly.
So, getting into the bout, man, Aleksei Oleinik, he is a veteran of the sport, obviously been in the UFC for quite a long time. This is a big step up for you, man. When I was talking to your coach Chavo a couple weeks ago, big step up, but he said you guys know what you have to get done. So I want to ask, what is it that you have to get done with Aleksei Oleinik that you need to focus on with this fight that you didn't per se think about in the past? Because again, step up in competition.
Yeah, he's definitely a big step up in competition. Going to be my toughest fight to date. And there's a reason why he's the number 10 guy in the world, and he can take a beating when he needs to take a beating, and he can still keep coming and he can still win. So it's really going to be on me to defend those takedowns. Now, recently in his most recent fights, he's been testing the waters out standing up. So if he does that with me, I don't think it's going to be a long night for him. But if he's smart about it, like the veteran that I know he is, and everyone else knows that he is, he's going to mix everything up, mix the striking in with his takedowns, and then realistically, it's just going to come down to me stopping the takedown. Once I stop that takedown, I'm just going to put my hands on him, and then we'll see where the fight goes from there.
Where do you think he would prefer fighting you? Like, if you had to go and assess the situation, where do you think he thinks he has the best chance against you?
Probably the clinch or being on top. Those seem to be his areas of expertise. So I expect strikes into the clinch, a lot of cage work, overhooks, dirty boxing, things like that. And then he's going to try and trips, go for the takedowns. And then once he gets on top, he's just going to try and stay heavy. And he's going to do the scarf hold, or he's going to do that crazy Ezekiel choke or whatever he does. And he's going to look for the win on that way. But I don't see that happening.
But not for nothing. I mean, you roll with solid black belts day in and day out. I mean, Martínez BJJ is not known for being a slouch school in Philly. And also with the cross training that multiple schools have in the Philadelphia area, I mean, the competition and the bodies aren't lacking. So
correct. Yeah.
We'll see how that plays out. But I appreciate the honesty there. So I want to ask, for you, where do you think your best chance in this fight is? And if I could even get you to give a bold prediction, where do you think you beat this guy?
I beat him everywhere, to quite honest. Like you were saying, we don't have any we're not just giving black belts out. We don't, you can't buy a black belt here, unlike other places. But realistically, 50 G's is awesome. I'd love to knock him out, and make a statement. Put everyone else in the heavyweight division notice, how quick my hands are, how that much better my striking is compared to, the top 15 people in the world. And I've started to show that in my last 2 fights, and I'm just going to continue to build off that.
And obviously on the same card with you guys, and it's what it's looking like headlining, is Blaydes and Derek Lewis. Yeah. And your opponent, Aleksei Oleinik, is coming off of a loss to Derek Lewis. And also on the card, you have Andrei Arlovsky, you have Tom. There's so many other heavyweights on the card. Yeah. Is there anybody else that really fits your fancy that you might think it's around the same time, pending the win in this fight, which obviously you're not coming to lose, somebody that meets your fancy?
Realistically, no. I mean, I wouldn't want to fight Andrei Arlovsky strictly because of the rankings. He's ranked 15. Oleinik is ranked 10. So there's no reason for me to try, beat Oleinik and then go backwards in the rankings. Tom Aspinall is fighting Arlovsky. I don't think the UFC should make that fight this early in both of our careers. If Aspinall gets through Arlovsky and then when I get through Oleinik, strictly because I think that they could further use that as a business standpoint, like a marketing standpoint. I start taking out, my portion of, the top 10 guys. He starts taking out the other portion of the top 10 guys. The young blood in there will fight for the, 2 and 3 contender spot. And then, the UFC can sell that. He's got the English fans. He's working with Darren Till. I got my fans in the United States. So by all means, if he holds his end up to the bargain, I'll hold my end up. We'll meet at the top.
I love it, man. So this will be your first time on the main card. 2 spectacular performances on the prelims, and now you get the bump up to the main card. Obviously, another reason that goes to show you're stepping up. But what does that feel to you, man? Like you're obviously, the proof's in the pudding.
Yeah. It just that shows that they have confidence in me. They have confidence in my abilities to sell fights, to sell cards for the masses to see. People tune into heavyweight fights. It's a heavyweight card. I don't care what anyone says. It's a heavyweight card. Main event, the co-main event, and then you got Arlovsky, Aspinall, and then you got a couple other heavyweights on earlier in the fights. So there's nothing wrong with heavyweight fights and people tuning in to see heavyweights because it's either, just big knockouts or brawls. And that's what I plan on doing. And that's what I'm assuming everyone else is going to do. Derek Lewis is going to be looking to knock Blaydes out. And then I'm going to be looking to knock Oleinik out. And so be it.
So pending this win, which obviously you're coming to get against Aleksei Oleinik, when do you think you and Chris's time you and Kyle's time will finally be? When do you think your guys going to make it up there?
I get the win. My brother's got a fight coming up soon. There's been no real announcement on it yet, so I'm not going to say anything. But he has a fight coming up. After his fight, definitely sometime. I'll say later this year, because his fight scheduled for the next couple months. So, September, October definitely will be a phenomenal thing. Hopefully, I'll be headlining a card, and then he'll make some waves in his next fight. And then he can, either he'll be main carding, getting himself back to the main card or getting on a co-main event. So that'll be really good.
And pending this win, when do you want to get back into the cage? I guess you're looking for a busy 2021.
Yeah, I'm not looking to take any time off. Like I've said before, as long as I can take the time off of work, I get work off. And then as long as I don't have any injuries, as long as, my face isn't broken, I'm not breaking my hands on these dudes' heads. Yeah. I'm ready to go as soon as I can. So there's a bunch of heavyweight cards coming up. Heavyweight, you got Stipe Ngannou, and then there's Cyril is fighting Rosenstrike. I've seen that. So realistically, March, and then I believe in April they announced a bunch of heavyweight fights. So as soon as those fights are done, and then everyone on my card too. So anyone can get it. Doesn't really matter to me.
I love it, man. Well, we'll start closing down with, let us know where the fans can keep up with you on social network. Get your sponsors out there. And also, I want to just say, pending the win in this one, I definitely want to have the post-fight interview. Definitely want to talk in the future. It was definitely awesome to talk to you. But social media and all your sponsors, go ahead.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to check me out on Instagram or Twitter, it's Chris_Daukaus MMA. That's pretty much for both of them. The sponsors, Primal Nutrition, A&M Fleets, Clutch Shot with Jason Patton. I appreciate you guys. And Jason for the HVAC as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Fuel Hunt. I really appreciate you guys. You guys have been killing it with the sponsorships and the clothing line and pushing my name out there and my brother's name and the gym's name out there. And couldn't ask for a better partnership. So thank you.
Awesome, man. Chris, best of luck against Aleksei, man. You and what your brother are doing. Again, like I said when we were off record, I mean, being from the tri-state area, Delaware, seeing all the Philadelphia fights, it's really, really, really awesome and surreal for us to see you guys making the big splash and doing it big. And it's really cool to see, man. So congratulations. I wish you nothing but the best of luck, and I look forward to talking in the future.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate you. Thanks for the time.
There he goes, Christopher Daukaus. Officer Daukaus will be taking on Aleksei Oleinik, and it goes down UFC Fight Night, Blaydes versus Lewis, February 20th in Las Vegas, Nevada at the UFC Apex. You don't want to miss this fight. Chris Daukaus is making big waves in the heavyweight division, 2-0 with 2 big knockouts. You don't want to sleep on this guy. For Chris Daukaus, I'm Adam Christ. Make sure you keep it locked to mymmanews.com for all your fight news needs.